You need to come up with a good intro. Just not right now.
Well, what's up, guys?
What's up? What's up?
Back. We're back, actually. I'm Jamal.
Bourbon here.
And yeah, we're back for another episode. I think a good way to start off, you was gone. So how was your weekend?
It was good. Went to Florida, got to hang out with family and friends. And I realized this weekend that my son is a homebody.
Like home as in like your house or not like... Because homebody could like mean just in the house.
No,
you mean like literally your home.
Yes. It was crazy. We got there and that evening he was like, okay, mommy, when are we going back to Rockwall? And I'm like, what? Like, we're on vacation, bro. And he was like, yeah, but I'm ready to go back to Rockwall. I was like, I don't understand. What are you talking about? Yeah, so it got to the point that I had to tell him, if you ask me one more time, we're never going back.
Dang, that's crazy, bro. So he really don't...
Yeah, no. He wanted to be home.
Did he not have fun?
He did. We went to the beach, hung out with his cousins, which he actually had a really good time with. No, I made sure that he had fun every day. Went to the arcade. I mean, because it was to be there to be, celebrating a couple birthdays down there. But also, I just wanted this time to really just spend time with my son and take him out. And
he was like, nah, forget this, bro.
No, he loved the fact that we were with him, but he just wanted to be back in Rockwall. He wanted to be in Texas and not be in Florida.
See,
it's the weirdest thing.
I'm a homebody, but like, it don't have to be my home. It could just be in the home. I just don't want to be out in the in the pollution in the public.
In the pollution.
In the polluted public. The public is polluted with people, and I don't want to be around them.
I know. I invited him to go to a comedy show last night at the Improv.
To the Improv.
And he was like, no. And I'm like, bro, I got an extra spot. He's like, no. I don't want to be out.
You want to know what's even crazier about that? When you text me, it's like, hey, I got an extra spot. I was outside the Improv. And I just drove back home. I don't want to go. I don't want to be there at all. Yeah, it's not in me, bro. Have you been out, and I think this is like an after effect of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
But have you been out in public and noticed sick people more? Like I walked into Target yesterday and this lady coughed so loud, and I was like, "You ain't going to the house." What the freak is this? And I never had COVID. I know people that had it, but when she coughed, and I mean on the entrance. I walked in the entrance, and you know how they got the dollar spot? She was at the dollar spot, and she coughed. I was like, you need to go somewhere else. So have you noticed that? Are more aware of sick people? I don't think
it's I've always been aware of it, but I think now there's just more
Bro, and I mean I took a major detour too.
Major detour.
Even if I would have kept straight, I was nowhere near it. But I still veered off to the left a little bit.
I do that has happened since COVID. And more importantly than me noticing other people, I have allergies. So whenever I sneeze or I cough or anything like that, I'm looking around, making sure nobody's looking at me and giving me that look. Like
they finna throw you in quarantine. You oh, I'm sorry, guys. I promise.
Allergies. It's Texas allergies.
Nah,
that was funny.
And I don't never, I'm never really in public much. And usually I have my headphones in. And I didn't.
And you still heard her over your
I don't think I had my headphones in. And I was just I just walked in and I just heard that cough and I was like, oh my gosh. And then she followed it up with another one. I was like, lady, you need to go. I really, in my heart,
Maybe
I was
she just has something stuck in her throat.
That's very true.
Yeah.
And I looked at her, which I was scared to do, as if that's going to get me sick. But I looked at her this is so weird that people be out in public coughing now. And I'm not in the least bit concerned about COVID.
Yeah, I know
it's just
that.
Germs in general are way more way more apparent to me.
Yeah. You're just more aware.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just more. There's more of an awareness out now.
So, there is some things that's been going on this week in the news, and I don't know if you know about any of it.
Nope, sure don't.
So it would be very, very interesting to hear your first-time reactions to some of this stuff.
Okay.
Are you aware that your community is under attack? That the LGBTQ is under attack?
I am not aware.
Like, very, very, very bad. Okay?
Why? What did we do?
Being gay. And alright, so
obviously.
I'm gonna put this down here. So the Human Rights Campaign redesigned the American flag in a reality flag campaign. And so now they have removed 29 stars off the flag to represent the only states that actually give gay people rights. So, like, the flag looks like this now. And they are putting the flag up in all of these different places. And apparently it's at the, I don't know. They put it up at their office. Mm-hmm. And they're printing all of these flags because, and I think that might become y'all new flag, which is fire, by the way. I like that flag way more than
the rainbow.
The rainbow one. That one is always a little strange, but
it's not strange. From where it originated from, but okay.
But it's not strange. It's like a calling card though. It's like, hey, gay people are in this building.
Right.
Which is weird. I like this flag. This flag is cool. But they said, mm-hmm. This is the thing. So all of these different Republican-led states are putting out. They're making laws right now that's like against gay people. So I think like Tennessee said that you cannot, basically gay people can't get married or they can't do common law marriage, I think is in Tennessee. And Florida.
Good old Florida.
They got the Don't Say Gay Act. So you're not allowed to talk about being gay or sexuality or being trans or none of that stuff in schools no more.
Really?
They cut that out. So don't say gay.
Don't say gay. Got it.
And California, LA County, I pulled this up.
California?
No, LA County has banned flights to Texas and Florida because of their gay legislation, essentially.
Oh, I'm about to say LA's advocates for the LGBT.
Yes.
I was about to say
yeah.
LA, California, what?
No.
That's where we all came. No, I'm just kidding.
That's where it was all originated from. Nah, it gotta be San Francisco.
For sure.
Have you been there?
I have not.
Oh my gosh, bro. San Francisco is the gayest city I ever.
It's definitely in my bucket list for sure.
You gotta go. All right, so LA County votes to ban official travel to Florida and Texas over LGBTQ policies. How do you feel about these legislations and these people attacking the Republican-led states, attacking y'all city? I mean, y'all community. And by the way, this is not a political podcast. I just thought this was very, very interesting that like gay people are so heavily under attack right now. Feel like
well, we've always been under attack, and it was crazy because we were having this conversation actually yesterday with two of my agents about. We were just talking about how it's in everything. I think Disney.
And they're both straight, right?
Yeah, they're both straight. But that Disney, I guess, made an announcement. Don't credit me because I know nothing. But something about any new show, anything going forward, anything that is put on Disney has to have a LGBT character.
Which is wild. That's crazy.
And like, I really don't know how I feel about that. I know when everything started happening, you know, I feel like now being gay is almost like a fad, right? But I mean, it's a good thing.
It's
I guess
more than acceptable. Like
absolutely. Well, is it? Apparently.
But yeah, that's true. But I mean, like
in the normal,
overly accepted, like
yes. I mean, I can't say overly accepted because it's no such thing.
No. When I say overly, because I do want to clarify that. I don't, of course, I accept it.
Right,
but I'm saying like,
yeah,
I know. But it's like people, they have a feeling like a girl I think almost all girls have like kissed a girl, but then like, no, I'm gay and I want everybody to know it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, and
like it's over.
And that's one thing I was saying to the girls was like, in my high school, which was X amount of years ago.
A lot of years. No.
I was probably one of the only open lesbians in my school, right? Because I just didn't care what people thought about me. But I knew so many people in the closet, you know, and people that have come out since then. And I feel like now just making it aware, starting with the younger generation in sitcoms, in shows, it just shows, hey, they're just regular people like you and us. This is just their preference. So it makes it a lot more open. Back then, seeing a gay couple on TV, unless if it was a gay show, right, Queer as Folk or the L Word, which were our two huge ones, it was unheard of. You didn't see it in movies. You didn't see it in, you know, and now, hell, they've even made it to Hallmark or Christmas movies. So I think and you think that we are making huge strides, right? And we've come a long way, but shit, 29? That's insane.
I think representation is important. So like with Disney being inclusive and being having representation, I feel like that is very, very important. But pandering is unnecessary.
Absolutely.
And even when it comes to black people being included in movies and stuff, if it doesn't serve the story, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I watched Eternals. You haven't seen Eternals yet.
Mm-mm.
In Eternals, they had announced years ago that Eternals was going to have the first gay couple in it. And they did. And it was this black guy. I don't know if you've ever seen him act before. He's in the TV show Atlanta and a movie, something else. But the black guy was gay. He had a husband, and he also had a kid. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen Eternals, but that was 7-8 months ago. You should have seen it. But they had an adopted kid, and he was gay with a husband. And I thought it was awful. Like, not because he was gay, it just felt like they forced it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, even their chemistry was off.
Yeah.
Because he's not gay.
Yeah.
So even his chemistry was off. And then they kissed this one time when it was like, and you could feel the lead up to it. And I was like, it felt, again, keep going back to this, it felt like the all-girl scene, and like you felt the lead up to that coming.
Yeah. And
you feel the lead up to this kiss, and they kissed, and it was so awkward. He even looked like he didn't want to kiss him.
Oh my God.
You remember like when Will Smith got kissed by the white dude in the I think it was in Hitch, it was in Hitch. You ever seen that?
Yeah.
That even looked way more natural, right? He looked like this is his husband. He looked like he did not want to do it. His name is David Tyreek, I think his name is. And watching that scene, I was like, oh man, that's so forced. Yeah. And that doesn't serve the story, nor does it serve the community.
Right.
Like, and, you know, again, I'm all for inclusion, and I've understood representation to matter a lot. I've heard gay people speak about it over the last 5 or 6 years. It never made no difference to me, because when I was a kid, I watched Fresh Prince. When I was a kid, I watched Saved by the Bell. And I watched Happy Hour. And I watched Family Matter. Like, I watched both sides. I watched all of it. And I watched the girl. It didn't matter to me at all. Good was good.
Right.
You know.
Right.
But you can, to me, it also feels awkward or feels really, really weird. And this is speaking from a black perspective. You can tell me from a gay one. But it always felt really, really weird to see to see a black person in a show with all white people. Like Lisa on Saved by the Bell. She literally is the only black person on the show. And it feels so weird to like see one dot of black in a...
One dot of black.
And I mean, like, in the entire school. The majority of the school is white. All the background people is white.
You know what's crazy? I never realized that.
Yeah, and it's so weird to me to like see that happening.
And I think they said something similar about Friends.
Yeah, there's not one black person on that show.
And I'm like, but it's just so crazy that was just the norm. You know, you didn't, like, I never saw it as them being racist or anything. It was just, you know, you had those shows and then you had your black shows like Family Matter and 227 and A Different World. So
see, and then that's the difference. On the black shows, we never even put white people in them. On the Cosby Show, we had Adam Sandler one time, or a couple times. But you rarely even, like, we rarely tried to include them into storylines. So it never looked weird to me that it was a white person in a black show because they weren't there. Like, I can't even think off the top of my head a white person that was in Fresh Prince. Yes, there are white people.
I was about to say Trump was on Fresh Prince.
Yeah, there are white people, like his Uncle Phil associated with white people all the time because he was rich, he was a lawyer. But there were no...
Constant.
Yeah, like, there was white people at the school that they went to because they went to a white school. But even in that school, it was black people. They weren't the only two black people there.
Right.
So it's like, I don't know. And I'm really like, is that how y'all are going to look or how y'all going to feel when it's a gay person in every single show or movie moving forward? That's weird. They've been in that controversy too. When I was looking stuff up yesterday, I saw their name pop up.
What?
Disney.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how I feel. I think it's a good thing. And the reason why I say that, and the point that I made yesterday is, you know, the suicide rate, again, you know, for young gay people is so high. I mean, you still have people nowadays, 50s, 60s, 70s, still living in the closet because of the fear of the repercussions or losing family member or whatever the case may be.
And ridicule in the workplace.
Absolutely. So I think seeing it on TV, just not so much throwing it in your face, but it's just making it normal. Like, it's okay. Like, interracial couples. Yeah. You know, that's something that that you're starting to see in commercials, or, you know, you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. I like that. I can appreciate that. But it's kind of almost giving, like, the stamp of approval.
But my problem with making it normal, quote unquote, is it is very normal. Mm-hmm. But how would we know? Like, you don't... Most people don't just look gay. And then even if you look gay, that's very stereotypical. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
David looks gay. And that's great. Mm-hmm. But most gay people don't look gay. So it's like, how do you... What? You know what I mean? Like, so everybody gonna look gay? Because without a conversation, how would you even know? Remember we was in the gay part? What did David call it? The gayborhood?
Oh, gayborhood, yeah.
Remember it was downtown somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh crap, everybody down here is gay. And then I asked you, how do you find this? Like, if you're gay, how do you know where to go where, like, everybody down here is gay? Because it became very apparent to me once we got in the restaurant. I was like, oh, everybody here is gay. How do they find this type of area? And then I went on to ask David that same thing, and he was like, yeah, you just kind of know. Like, we just kind of know where everybody is. We all kind of stay in the same little circle. We go to the same clubs and stuff. Right. And the clubs are in the neighborhoods. And I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. But outside of that... It's
like our safety net.
Yeah, outside of that, though, you wouldn't know these people were gay. When I worked in retail, I had a manager who was in his 50s or 60s. And his name was Ken. And I had a feeling that him and the other manager, Steven, was gay, but I never knew. And I'm not going to ask.
Right.
Ken was a well-dressed man, but he was very soft-spoken, a little tender. I think it's the best adjective I got.
This fool said a little tender.
He used to work at Joann's Fabric.
I was about to say, I don't even know what that meant, a little tender.
I'm starting to like put the clues together now. So we.
You had to throw in that he worked at Joanne Fabric.
Now I just remember that. Cause we was at a sporting goods store. So how, you know what I mean?
I can't with you this morning.
He did. That's where he worked. So, but he used to always dress very nice. He was like the only person in there that would wear.
Oh, you know they gay if they dress. No, I'm just kidding. Okay.
That's another one. Hear it? See,
please do not listen to me.
It's dawning on me. But no. So he'd like have on like a button-up shirt and slacks and nice pants. Well, we all wear polos and cargo pants. You know what I mean? Like we was dressed like outdoor apparel people, and he was dressed all fancy like.
Yeah.
And we never spoke about his sexuality. We never talked. Man, bro, he's 60-something years old. He my manager. You know?
Right.
But he will always say, my roommate, which
me.
I've learned now means
code word.
Yeah, which means
my boo thing.
Nah, it means my what is it called? The when you married to somebody, when you live with somebody, and now you consider married. What is that?
Common law.
Yeah. Basically, it's common law husband that he don't want to tell me about. But he would tell me these stories about his roommate. Like, but he never would say a name.
Did you hear him? He was like, oh.
Yeah, I was like.
Is that how he talked?
Yeah, he was like,
tender.
So my roommate, yesterday, I have these lily pads. I don't, the freak, he's talking about plants. You know what I'm saying? Like, he would tell me about the plants and tell me that his roommate didn't water them. And, like, I wasn't sure if it was a man or a woman. And then eventually, I kind of started putting it together that it was a man. Because he wouldn't use, like, he didn't know his pronouns. He wasn't saying he or she or her.
Just my roommate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Isn't that sad, though?
It is. It's crazy. And then I'm going to tell you when I really felt. I'm going to tell you when I really felt sad for him. It was in August. It could have been 2014, 2015. It was in August, I know for sure. And he came to me.
Birthday month. I'm just saying. He
came to me and he was like, we was fixing the front foyer. And he was like, so me and my roommate, he was like, they just made the law. And he was like, me and my roommate, we're finally going to go get married. And I was like,
skirt?
No, I was like, it hit me and I was like, oh, well, congratulations. When are y'all going? And then he just started telling me this, like, basically the history of not being able to get married. And they had just approved, Obama and them had just passed a bill saying that gay marriage was legal everywhere.
Right.
And so he was saying that they was going to go do that. And I was like, oh, congratulations. Now we're having this whole conversation about his gay relationship and his gay marriage. And I'm like, we never even talked about you being gay. You know what I'm saying?
We skip from roommate to hey.
Yeah, like for 2 years you've been telling me it's your roommate. And now you're telling me today that y'all are going to get married. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
And that was like the first time it was confirmed to me. And that's when I felt sad because I'm like, he hasn't even felt comfortable telling me this entire time.
Yeah.
Like, I have no problem with your sexuality or your sexual.
Right.
I don't care.
Right.
But he would never telling me.
Yeah.
But then also I felt good that he felt comfortable enough to tell me.
Absolutely.
Like, I was like, well, I'm glad he knows me enough after 2 years that I don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was a very nice guy. But it's just like, gay people have struggled for so long, like the coming out of the closet thing, and it's, I don't know. And speaking of coming out of the closet, one of my favorite comedians, Gerard Carmichael, came out of the closet this week as well. On Friday.
I don't know who that is.
You do. I'll show you.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. You didn't know that he was gay?
And we were about to have that conversation from the show I showed you before, the Carmichael show. Black Family? Okay, whatever. Gerard Carmichael comes out.
Yeah, I really don't watch TV.
He's not that.
I feel like I'm so boring, but I'm really not. Like, my life
is ridiculous. But
it's go. I just don't watch TV.
Your life is not connected to online.
I'm not. Nope. I enjoy and live everything that's around me.
Yeah. Tangibles. So, Gerard Carmichael put out a comedy special.
Okay.
And in that comedy special, He just comes out and says, like, I've been having this secret for a very long time. Wasn't even sure I was ever going to share it. And, yeah, I'm gay. And it gets dead silent in the room. And then, because I think...
I need to see this guy in action, because just based on those pictures, I could definitely see that he was on
that's
that
what's
side
the
of the family.
interesting part about it. I've never felt he was gay. Never. But he is like a well-dressed gentleman. He is very like, he's a cool guy. But I never realized that he was gay. And when he came out, I was like, oh, I see it. I get that. Like, I understand that I get it. I see it. You know? But on the Carmichael show, they even had an episode where he was a mentor to a little kid. They had a lot of gay conversations on this show. Okay. And he was a mentor to a little boy. And the little boy was like, you know, like, man, I don't really know how to tell you this, but like, I'm gay. And Gerard, they was like playing basketball. And Gerard was like, man, you know what, man? I gotta go get this Lauryn Hill CD out my car. I'll be right back. And then just leaves. And he goes home and he talks to his family. He was like, yo, I thought he was gonna be a great basketball player. He just told me he was gay. And I don't know what to say to him. He was like, I was prepared for like gang banging and violence and drugs. Like, I don't know what to say about this kid who just told me he was gay, and he don't know how to tell his mom. He don't know how to tell his friends. He never told anybody. So he went home.
Except him. Yeah. He just walked out on.
Yeah. Then he came back and was like, I'm sorry, man. I couldn't find a CD. The kid was like, bro, you been gone for like an hour. Like, you good? And he was like, nah, I'm good, man. And then he was like, Gerard, I'm not gay. And Gerard was like, what? Why would you do that? Like, why would you tell me this if you weren't gay? He was like, I'm trans. And Gerard was like, oh my God, bro. I was just accepting of you being gay. Now you telling me you trans. Like, I don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but even and I'll have to show you these episodes, but even the nuance in that conversation was so great. But even in that, I felt like he didn't understand the gay struggle. Like, genuinely as a person, he didn't understand it. But it turns out he's been gay this whole time.
Right.
And
he did a good job acting the role.
Yeah. Like, but I find it so interesting because, like, I haven't seen the special. I just know because it's on HBO, which I need your password. Because I'm going to watch that this weekend because I have to watch it because I love Gerard's comedy. Okay. One of his best bits to me was, he said, Jay-Z means way more to me than Martin Luther King does. And the crowd was like, oh. He was like, bro, I can quote way more Jay-Z bars than I can Martin Luther King bars. He was like, I only know I have a dream from Martin Luther King. He was like, and I only know parts of that. I know full albums of Jay-Z. And I was like, that's correct. Like, I get that. Like, that's such a brilliant bit. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I do want to watch this. I was watching them talk about that on Flagrant too, and they said that. I could have said that this is what Andrew said to Gerard one time, and they was out hanging out, because his comedy is different. The way he do comedy, Gerard do comedy is different. It's more like a Dave Chappelle TED Talk type of thing. That's funny occasionally. Dark a little bit. And they said they were sitting out together and his next special was on the way. And Gerard tells Andrew, hey, my next special is coming out. And Andrew says to him, well, can you do that thing? Can you please do me a favor? And he was like, yeah, what's up? He was like, can you not do that thing where you're not funny? Can you just make it funny? And I guys was like, bro, he said this to his face. And he was like, yeah, because I be having to justify to people that he actually is funny. Like, I've seen him be funny, really, really funny. And then he puts out specials and it's not funny. And then I have to tell people, no, he's funny. You know, he was like, I just want him to just go kill like I know he can kill. And I'm like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I get it. I get that type of, I love conversations. That's partly why this podcast is, I just like talking to people. So, like, it's in my nature to love conversations.
Right.
I love interviews, conversations, podcasts. So it doesn't matter to me if you are a comedian and you just get on stage and talk for an hour and there's no jokes. It doesn't bother me at all because I just love to hear it.
Right.
So, and I think that's way harder to keep a crowd
entertained
for an hour.
Yeah.
And it's just you talking.
Right.
That's so impressive. And something that I've been wanting to show you is on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
There is a David Letterman show. It's called, I think it's called Conversations with Letterman. But he just sits down and talks to people, interesting people. Barack Obama, Jay-Z, Lizzo, Dave Chappelle, just all these interesting people. And that to me is like some of the most fascinating conversations I ever seen.
Yeah.
I would just sit there and study them. When they came out, I just watch them back to back. They're like 6 episodes a season, and I would just watch hours of it because I was like, this is
isn't the
amazing.
one where they get in the car and drive around and all that, right?
No, that's comedians in cars
Oh,
get coffee,
yeah.
which I also find amazing. Just good conversations.
Yeah.
And so I need your password before we leave because I want to listen to what Gerard had to say about that. And then the last thing that I want your opinion on is there's a congratulations in order because the Supreme Court yesterday just finalized, and I don't know the other terminology, but we now officially have the first black female Supreme Court leader or judge, Ketanji Brown, if I'm not mistaken, that's her name.
I saw that. Yaz has been posting it a lot. Like, I've been seeing different things on it.
So what, let me double check on the name. Hold on. I don't want to be incorrect here. Yes. Ketanji Brown Jackson. How you feel about that? Having that, first of all, Joe Biden did that. Do you think that it was like, Joe,
No,
Joe, he is, he's really good at pandering. He's not good at executing, but he's really good at pandering. But how do you feel about having a black woman, the first black woman, in the Supreme Court? That's a lifetime position.
Yeah, I think it's amazing.
I think that's terrible. Not her.
I was like, what?
That sounds terrible. I think it's terrible that those are lifetime positions that nobody voted for, but you're appointed to a lifetime position. That's really weird to me. They gotta cut this out.
No, I agree with that.
But because somebody could get voted in at 40 and then 40 years from now still be there.
Mm-hmm.
What? The way they thought at 40 is most likely how they think at 80. And the world has evolved a lot.
Changed, yeah.
Like, some of these people that's in the Supreme Court right now been in there since the 70s, the 80s, and the early 90s. The world has changed drastically. They should not be making Supreme Court rulings. That seems so wild to me. And every couple years we get a younger person on there. Yeah. But you were saying, how you feel about it?
No, I mean, I think it's good if it's deserved, which I'm sure it is. Then kudos to her. You know, I think if it was done just because she's black, which I don't.
It was.
Really?
And that's what Republicans had a problem with. She is very well qualified. Like,
so she's qualified
more
for the
qualified
job
than a lot of other people. But the issues that Republican had with it is, soon as the other justice stepped down, he said, I'm going to hire a black person. I'm going to hire a black woman specifically. So I'm going to appoint a black woman specifically. So people had a huge problem with that. They were saying, like, how can he just do that, you know? And because he did that, it made Republicans criticize him very, very heavily. Or criticize her very, very heavily. They've been in this, like, trial.
Well, him making that statement, it's
diluted
100%. Yeah, because she, like you said, she's very qualified for the position and the job, and the fact that he said that took away from her, because you're gonna have people that are like, well, does she deserve the spot, or is it just because she's a black woman and he wanted to make a statement?
And think about that. That's a lifetime statement. Well, like it's a 40-year statement. That's a crazy thing. And my president from 2000, or our president from 2022, should not be making decisions for my kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, essentially,
yeah, but that's...
what he did was make a decision today for our kids 40 years from now or 30 years from now. That's weird. That's why it shouldn't be a lifetime decision.
But that's not him making that decision. I mean, that's just how that position is.
It shouldn't be. That's what I'm saying. It shouldn't be that way.
No, I agree.
Because Joe Biden's decision making today shouldn't directly affect my kids 30 years from now.
But it does.
Yeah. And then I think and she's very, like I said, she's very qualified. But they've been going back and forth like on trial the last couple weeks. The Republicans was wilding out, bro. They was asking her crazy questions. They was like, can you define what a woman is? And she was like, no, I cannot. She like, bro, y'all not about to try me. I think, they was in there for hours just like harassing this lady, bro. It was so crazy, some of the questions that they was asking. And what people found out online is they was really trying to, like, they chose questions that would get sound bites and go viral on social media. And I saw it. So, like, the day I saw the news of them asking questions like, can you define what a woman is? Or, I can't remember some of the other wild questions. And when I saw that day, I thought, oh, that's crazy, but I get why they would ask some of these questions. And then the next day I saw on the news, Supreme Court nominee Ketanji Jackson doesn't know what a woman is or can't define a woman. And I was like, oh, that's what they're doing. Like, they're just grabbing those headlines. I mean, they just making those statements to grab those headlines and to trash her on opposite side of the fence line. That's kind of crazy.
It is crazy.
And
it's sad. Like, I do feel bad for her with all this stuff that you're saying, coming out to light. Because now, just like any other time, just have to work even harder to just prove yourself. The starting line is just so further back, which sucks. You have to work extra hard, have to do extra things just to be seen on the same level as some people just automatically get
handed this.
Yeah, for being white male.
Yep. Do you think this is not the last thing? I've been thinking about this. There's been a lot of talk about UFOs and aliens. Do you believe in aliens?
Hell yeah.
So, I've been seeing a lot.
Do you believe in aliens?
Yeah, it's impossible not to.
I'm like, I don't know. We can't be friends. No, I'm just kidding.
Somebody said this a long time ago, and that's when I really because I always been skeptical. But when somebody made this statement, I was like, yeah, that's true. How arrogant are we to believe that we are the only life forms that exist in this universe? That's so crazy. That's so arrogant to believe that. So, people have been coming out, the White House and their task force or whatever have been coming out making these statements. So they've been coming out releasing documents about UFOs. They were saying like the effects that UFOs or interactions with aliens have been having on people, like leaving them burned, leaving them with heart problems or this type of problems. And this week I've been seeing a lot of UFO stuff. And I think it's kind of interesting that scientists this week also announced that they are going to, against Stephen Hawking's advisory when he was alive, but they are going to signal out to aliens to let them know where we're located. What do you think? I'm gonna read the article. Stephen Hawking said he does not advise that we reach out to them. He do believe that he did believe that there were aliens out there, but he thought it was a very bad idea for us to try to make contact with them. Mm-hmm. So, scientists to broadcast Earth locations to alien, ignoring Stephen Hawking's warnings. What you think? Should we do that? Should we let them know, hey, we over here?
What the hell? I don't they already know where we're at? If they keep if we keep having sightings and seeing UFOs and all that, clearly they know. We're the dumb ones who don't know where they're at, bro. You know.
But that's
but yeah, exactly there's definitely no white flag. Hey, we're here. Like, why?
You're right. First thing is, they definitely know where we at. We keep saying that we've seen aliens and people have these interactions with aliens. They know where we're at. But secondly, if they don't know where we're at, don't tell them, please. Please don't tell them, because that sounds like,
get zapped.
Yeah, that sounds like a really, really bad. Like, when I saw that article, I was like, bro, this year keep getting more 2022. Like, are we gonna continue to invite the end of the world?
Absolutely, because
like, what the
can't leave well enough alone.
What the heck? It's like, God dang, bro. And then here's the next thing. UFOs left radiation burns and unaccounted for pregnancies, new Pentagon report claims. That's what I'm saying, bro. How crazy is that?
Yeah.
It's nuts, right?
I want to be pregnant with an alien.
No, cut it out, bro. Your baby gonna look like this. Yo. He'll look just like that.
Oh my God, I can't.
Are you serious, bro?
Oh man.
So this is what
you know that there's people out there though. Be like, come impregnate me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 100%. There's people.
Oh man.
I want to meet the person that.
I want an alien friend. I think I could befriend an alien. It'd be kind of cool.
Bro, we don't know. First of all, two things. We don't know if they're not already here and living among us. And then secondly,
I live in this Ender's Game world though. Have you read that book?
I love that book.
Me too.
I read it when I was a kid. It's one of the few books out. Right?
Me too. I read them all.
The
so I'm like, man, like I could see that being.
Did you watch the movie?
Yeah, I did.
I recently watched it, like 2 months ago.
I could definitely see that being a reality.
Like, we have to fight them?
No, just the whole not knowing, you know, because obviously with uncertainty and lack of knowledge comes fear.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that was the whole point of that series, of that book, you know. But
it's like, could we possibly, like, it could be that's the thing. It could be the greatest thing that ever happened to human civilization, or it could be the absolute worst thing that ever happened to human civilization.
And here's the thing, us being who we are, we're going to make it the worst.
Yeah.
Right? Because the control that, I don't think...
Grab them, let's shoot them, let's
prod them, poke them.
Yeah, bro.
I don't think we're at that point where...
We're not civilized enough for other civilizations. We're dumb. We are really, really dumb. We can't even get along with each other. Yeah. And now, mind you,
we're very savage, you know.
They might be too. They might not be as highly advanced, like, socially as we believe them to be.
Well, I don't know. If they found us and we haven't found them yet, I would give them a couple notches.
But that's technologically advanced. That doesn't mean socially advanced. They could be flying galaxies and still be wanting to kill people. They could be Thanos.
Well, no, for sure.
Like, they could travel plenty of galaxies, but he was still ready to snap out half the universe.
They've probably come here and been like, oh, heck no, let's get out of here. no.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Charlemagne said not only do they know where we are, like y'all, first of all, y'all are stupid for thinking they don't know where we are. Not only do they know where we are, but they drive past Earth with their windows up.
Yeah.
Locked. And the door is locked. They don't want nothing to do with us, bro.
I believe it. I believe it 100%.
Yeah,
I really do believe that 100%. That's why they haven't invaded us yet. They sent a couple of their good friends down here, be like, yeah, no, X-nay on Earth. Let's try something else.
They probably hear
They
the
probably
music.
have a whole bunch of little galaxy friends out there, and we're the ones left out because we're so retarded.
Yeah, they got music. They hear our music. They hear the stuff that we fight about. They see these wars that we've gone through, and they like, nah, I'm good on that.
Right.
I'm good.
If they attack each other this way, imagine if we showed up. We popped up.
Like these idiots. And that's the thing about Eternals. Okay? Bring it back to Eternals. In Eternals,
I'm gonna have to watch this movie.
they were basically like, they're aliens. They came from another planet. Centurion beings is what they were. Centurion beings, I think. And they came here a long, long time ago. And they don't die. So they've been here this whole time. And they kind of explain to us how these it's like 7 or 8 of them, how these individuals have helped us in our society. So one of them was Athena, which was Angelina Jolie, and she was the goddess of war. So it showed like how she helped certain countries in wartime, and then also how we got like certain technologies. And I think that's a great concept. That's why I like the movie personally, because I think that concept of trying to explain how we got to where we are over the course of centuries, it was just these few people here and there leading us on, which was kind of a funny thing because it's a girl, she like dating a normal guy, and they was trying to tell her like, you shouldn't do that, like he's gonna die,
right?
Like, and you're not. And she was like, I mean, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, and I feel like that would be you. You'd be like, oh, that's a perfect situation. Like 100 years from now, they'll be gone, and I can get somebody else. 100 years from now.
Oh my God.
Like, she tried to explain. She tried to explain to her boyfriend.
I'll have a scrapbook.
Yeah, bro. She tried to explain to her boyfriend.
From, 1820 to.
She tried. Listen.
He died in a car accident.
She tried to explain to her boyfriend who she was or what she was, and she was like, "Yeah, this other guy that just flew in and just like started killing people. Like that used to be my ex." And he was like, "How many years ago?" She was like, "Well, he just left me one day, and I haven't seen him since." And he was like, "Well, how long ago was this?" And she was like, "A couple thousand years ago." I was like, "Bro, that's so crazy thought to like."
Yeah.
Imagine that. That's your ex. You haven't seen him a couple thousand years, but to them it's like very short amount of time. You know? Oh man, living that long seems miserable.
Yeah, I don't know. I've thought about it because they made me watch Vampire Diaries.
Yeah.
And with them, unless if they're killed, they're immortal. So it's very interesting. I'm like, man, would I want to live forever?
It's so trash. Well, it's not.
If I'm bitter now, no, I'm just kidding.
It's not bad if you like this, but if you grow old,
Oh yeah. No, I would definitely have to be frozen in time.
Yeah, that's
preferably like 10 years ago, where my kneecaps still work. No, just
real talk. Well, no, I'll stay here,
I think I'd be okay. I think I would enjoy it. I mean, the hardest part would be constantly having to start over and seeing the people that you love grow old and die, but
here's the thing.
I think after a while I think there's a beauty to that, and you'll just appreciate life so much more.
So 2 interesting characters in there was one, it was a kid. One of them was a kid. So they came here as a kid and been seen as a kid for centuries, which is awful.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
Awful.
At least make me 21.
And then the other one was a Bollywood star. So he doing all these movies and stuff, and they're like, bro, why do you do this? And then they get to like his trailer, And his trailer, he was like, cause my great grandfather, my great great grandfather, but it's just him, and he just he been an actor for hundreds of years. He's just like, cause you know what I mean, like this is just what my family does, and I'm like, bro, that's so wild. But that's just an interesting concept to me.
Yeah,
I would do that, but I would feel so like. Here's the truth about that though. If right now I was granted like eternal life or at least a couple hundred more centuries, I would feel like the first 30 years was trash. Like you would just start living differently immediately.
Yeah, I think so. Because what do you got to lose?
Yeah.
So why don't we live like that now?
Because we could lose. We could lose a lot.
Yeah, and I think that's an interesting concept. I think I would just constantly build different businesses, and then after like 30, 40 years, say I'm moving or something, and just leave, like just build these companies financially sound, and then give them away to whoever's my right hand in that business venture.
See, but that's hard, bro, because like even today, like if I wanted to start an Apple, like I still don't know how to do that, you know? But, I mean, I guess after 100 more years, you'll figure that out.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You'll have all the knowledge, you know, and history repeats itself. So, you know, I just think it would be extremely interesting.
History repeats itself, but technology doesn't.
No, but it's constantly getting advanced, and
correct.
You're there throughout the whole process.
Yeah.
So you can understand it a lot better than just being thrown in.
That's how I feel about like cryptocurrency and NFTs. Like I feel like that stuff is so complicated and it's so advanced, but I feel like listening to other people that's done it, I feel like we're the dumb ones. We're like our parents looking at computers and the internet when it comes to cryptocurrency and NFTs. Is like,
Glad was just watching something on Netflix about the guy that died but didn't die. Or I couldn't even tell you who it is, but it's on Netflix, and how he like scammed all these people.
Oh yeah. And that type of stuff, like,
I'm like, I'll stick to my dollars.
Nah, cause and even with virtual reality with the headsets, remember I was telling, we gonna be our grandparents and our parents and say this stuff not gonna last. Like how Doug told me he thought computers were just gonna go away. That sounds so crazy to me today. Like I laughed in his face. I was like, bro, that's the most ridiculous thing. But he's 60 years old.
Yeah.
So to us, I would hate to be 50 years old and be like, man, I thought that Bitcoin or that NFT stuff was just a fad. Like
I don't think it's just a fad. I just think that there's still a lot to figure out.
I know, but while people figuring out, that's where you make the money or lose. I don't know. Well, that was a good conversation. As usual. That's what happens.
That is what happens. We just go on these tangents all day.
Yeah. I appreciate you guys. Thank y'all for watching. Especially again if you made it this far. And we will be back next